Ajit, hello once
Yes,
more.
yes, yes, Roman. Yeah, yeah,
We are very glad for our cooperation, and we have a preliminary account of cases you took at the last 1 hour, 1 year and a half, something like that. So we witnessed with our team more than 100 cases in hotline via homeopathica, and there are many acute cases, there are many chronic cases, there are many so-called untreatable cases, but we saw that even in these cases there are a lot of things to do and to help people. And during these cases, there are so many things to learn from you, from your experience, and we decided to make a new rubric just to take really very interesting cases and to bring them in another format, in format where you can share your experience about um, um, less known remedies with differential diagnosis. For
okay.
example, not so long ago, we had a case, very interesting case, and I would like to ask you to bring it in this new short format, please.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Roman, we had a very interesting case of a you see lady, unmarried, 43 years of age. And the whole issue about this case is a dependency on the mother for the living, for the life and living. And the mutual dependency of the mother over the daughter. Both are dependent on each other in a parasitic way, and this particular lady has not exposed herself to the outer world, but she is demanding. She wants her things to be fulfilled, and she is after the mother to fulfill, and she wants the mother so close that even she cannot tolerate mother in a toilet for a long time. So can you see the pathological clinging on the part of the daughter, 43 years age daughter? So the regression, the childishness, but the demands. And if you see the participation of this individual in the world, you find almost not more than 10%. When you expect 100%, it is not more than 10%. But there are demands always. There is a self-indulgence, there is anger, there is offended feeling, and there is a great pressure over the others that others must follow her. So when I started studying this case, it was a unique case because I didn't see such a lady of 43 years, which has been not adequate in communication, which is not adequate in the family affairs, which is not adequate in you see home, where she is expected to do some domestic work. So where she is only in herself. So there is a rubric, you see, self-indulgence. So this is the rubric which is a counterpart of the rubric selfishness. When you become too egocentric, you just go on asking the people to have the demands being fulfilled, but you have no capacity to do something for the others. This is nothing but a form of the selfishness. So when I started studying this case, and I found there are some issues in this case apart from what we are able to see. The first thing which is very important in this case is uh, she is ready to blame others, that you ruin my life. Actually, I always say my philosophy of life is that you are 90% responsible for your own life. 10% maybe destiny, maybe parents, maybe this and that, and maybe environment. So your life is 90% you. You decide it. You are the driver of it. You have the aeroplane. You have the horizon. You are the pilot. The ownership of your life belongs to you. Now, in this case, you see, although this philosophy is the right, she thinks that all other people are responsible for ruining me. She has no capacity to do anything, but she is able to, you see, as if she is taking the revenge over others, as if there is a big resentment. It is as if you see the delusion that you are against me, you are exploiting me, you are responsible for this. So it's a kind of a persecutory delusion. So I wanted a remedy where you will get all these features together. And then along with this, there is a very strong sense of helplessness. Now, it is very interesting. You have no capacity, but still you feel helpless. You don't find the light of the day. You do not find the, you see, how I can remove these obstacles and be a part of this integral part of this world around me. This state of helplessness, coupled with self indulgence, coupled with a sensitivity to being offended, this is, you will find, Taxus Baccata. It is very interesting that under the rubrics which I selected in this patient, I found uh, at 6 rubrics this remedy. But I had this second experience of the Taxus Baccata. In one case, in a lady from Europe, I used this remedy 7 8 years back with a very good success. In this particular case, what I found was, you see, total aversion to the people. She was rather with a disgust. You know, there is a rubric in mind, disgust. The meaning of this rubric is that if you see some people, if you see some behavior, if you have some smell, you become so disgustful of all these. So it is not only the people around you you are averse to, but it could be anything. Any stimulus could be disgusting. Then the rubric mind disgust comes up because it's a generalized rubric. This is a very good rubric for those people who take a antipathic, negative, and a very strong antagonistic reaction against the people. This is the idea, and this is the idea also of Taxus Baccata.
Very
They are
interesting,
not.
Ajit.
Yeah,
It seems like anti-carcinosinum drug.
yeah,
Everything is opposite.
yes, correct, correct,
Sympathy,
correct.
antipathy,
Yeah,
responsibility, doesn't want to take responsibility.
correct, correct.
Sympathy and disgusting, everything is
Yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah. So it is close to acid nitricum in disgust at one pole. At other pole, you see my demands and you see sensitivity to being offended, and every relation they put their pride. So here you will find platinum and palladium also come up. So this is a remedy you can compete with many other remedies also. Like they have a wounded pride, like palladium. They have a very strong, you see, antipathic response like acid nitricum. And moreover, what is important you will find is these are the people who are very, very obstinate. So they have a demands, and my demands must be fulfilled.
Hmm.
So in the history of the patient, she was demanding something at midnight of some food and something, and the mother went out to bring something with some relatives inside. And then at midnight, some food was given, and then only she was calm. And such incidences, if they are occurring often and often, then this is a central dispositional character of an individual, which is dictating the behavior.
So she's a dictator and she is
Yes,
capricious and she is
yes,
egocentric and all
yes,
this stuff
yes,
together.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you see, Baccata, Taxus Baccata is also for luxurious life. They want everything which is standard of life. branded clothes to be worn. They want everything like a wristwatch must be branded, furniture must be very nice. So they want the luxury of life because they have a inner, you see, feeling that they are like princess. I am a princess, and then I deserve it. This is a delusion, you see. Princesses are very few over the planet, you see. Though many think that they are the princess. So the issue with Taxus Baccata is that it's a kind of a materialism also, like plumbum metallicum, who wants everything luxurious and extravagant. So you will find the same theme with Taxus Baccata.
And in Taxus Baccata, you will see extravagant, or it's more for luxuries and
Yes, yes. They want the luxury, and they want the luxury with the cost of others. If the mother is unable to give, it's a mother's issue, not my issue. My issue is I want it. This is Taxus Baccata. So they are inconsiderate of others because they lack the sympathy, they lack the synchronization, the compassion, the compliance, the resonance. These are the words for causticum, for carcinosinum, for DNA. These are not the words for Taxus Baccata. Yeah.
you see, it's very interesting when we see the picture of this remedy. When you started to describe it, dependency of daughter by mother. So if you don't see the whole picture, you can start to think about, for example, lithium carbonicum. I remember my first case of lithium carbonicum in India. I saw it when this patient, this lady, she was so dependent on her husband. Any step was altogether with husband. And by the way, a few years after, I had a case in a clinic of beryllium carbonicum, and it was the same. A man who was about 45 years old was brought to the clinic by his father. He was so dependent on his father. But here we see dependency together with capriciousness, together with egocentric, together with demanding, together with dictatorship. And this is very interesting, this differential diagnosis.
You see, in lithium carb and Taxus Baccata, there is a difference. The first thing is that the concept of regression is common with both of them. The umbilical cord is not cut. I am with my mother. I cannot tolerate mother away from me. So literally, the umbilical cord is, you see, materially you have removed. But as a system, as a mind, there is an umbilical cord. You know, in psychology, there is a concept called as an extension of life. So this concept is that mother tries to fulfill her demands with the daughter and son. So daughter and son becomes a part of the extension of life of the mother, of the father. Now here you will find the situation is slightly different. In lithium, you find the extension of life. And mother is so controlling that the mother makes the lithium to behave in her own way. And this is one of the reasons why lithium remains regressive like baryta carbonicum. Here, baryta carb state of so much, you see, shyness, bashfulness is not available in Baccata. In Baccata, the other side of selfishness is developed. But the narrow capsule is the same. I mean, they remain in a shell. This shell is surrounded by a very thick wall. And they do not want to remove this wall and to have an entry outside in the world. So there is a difference in the thinking process. So at the base of both of them, you get the regression. You get some kind of the mutual parasitism in baryta also. You know, I have seen baryta child's mothers who are also dependent to fulfill the parasitism of the mother, of the child. So they become parasitic over the parasitic Bannata carbonicum. So this is this is what you are able to see in the relationships with the humans. Yeah.
So it's very interesting case, and actually 2 cases of Taxus Baccata you presented here. So
Yeah.
we will be very interesting to know what happens to them
Yes. What is
with
the
years.
result is very important.
Yeah, with years. And by the way, this case, first case you prescribed Taxus Baccata 7 years ago. What was the development?
Yeah, it improved a lot. This case improved a lot. I think it was a very good case, and I also presented this case in one of the follow-up seminars in Europe also. It was a very good case, and I think I have this case in my laptop also. I have to find out. The name is forgotten by me, but I can find it out. It is possible. Yeah,
Okay, so we will publish it as well.
yeah, yeah,
So we are going to publish 2 cases of Taxus Baccata of Dr. Ajit Kulkarni
yeah, yeah,
and more. Thank you, Ajit. Thank you very much for
yeah,
this short
yeah,
presentation. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.